What's happening, Sunderland fans? The true Mackem back again, and as promised, it's going to be a week long of special videos. And what could be more special than going into a derby weekend, knowing a few things about players? Now, bear this in mind. These are my opinions, and the way it's going to roll. The head-to-head video. I take certain players from each team, pit them against each other under 3 subjects and rate them out of 10 to see how they compare. And again, it's my opinion. If you think different, you know where it is, let me know. So today we have Pantilimon starting right at the back in the goals against Elliot. Now, first up, as I'm waving a pen around, fucking hell, Harry Potter now, is the aerial ability of both goalkeepers. Now, Pantilimon has a massive advantage when it comes to aerial ability. He's fucking hell, he's like 19 foot high, you know. Well, he's not, you know, he's 6'8", but yeah, you know. And he does have not only a reach advantage but a mammoth height advantage over Elliot. So how can this compare? Well, if you judge them, to be fair, on just their last games alone, Pantilimon's aerial ability and his awareness in, you know, in the area, he was all right. He's okay against West Brom. You know, the goal that we conceded, as we know, it wasn't a goal. It was a clear foul on Pantilimon. You know, even a former referee has come out and said it was a foul. So it jumped on for me. That's it. End of. You know, Geordie's piss and moan all you like. It's simple as that. Done. So yeah, whereas with Elliot, now this is a sticky wicket because I'm not going to judge him off the last performances that he had with Newcastle, apart from obviously at the weekend just gone by. You know, he looked reasonably okay in goal, if I'm going to be honest with you. He was, he did look a bit nervous at times, but that's understandable as to why. And again, there's nothing me here being biased, you know, but he did look pretty nervous at times. So this one's interesting, you know, aerial ability. So I think personally, because of the height and the reach, Pantilimon gets this 7 out of 10. And the only reason why Elliot gets a 5 out of 10, we haven't seen enough of him to really judge him. So 5 out of 10 isn't a bad thing, Newcastle fans. Don't get me wrong. Alright? Nothing biased here. That's never going to get fucking old, by the way. Ever. Yeah, so only because we haven't seen enough of him, so I can't really judge him too much. He did alright against Norwich, I'll give him credit, but that's the reason why. So, movement in the area. Well, now this is pretty similar, I guess, to aerial ability, because normally when goalkeepers tend to move, it's when they're going to jump to get the ball. That's kind of like the common thing in football, isn't it? We all know that. And I'm waving this fucking pen around again. Movement. Well, Pantilimon at times can be quite slow. But half the time when you see a team counter-attacking, Pantilimon's already on the edge of the box looking to block him off. You know. And again, with Elliot, his movement against Norwich was okay. It wasn't the best. But he did reasonably okay. So to be fair, I'm kind of drawn on these two, and they both get a 6 out of 10 for me for the movement. Ideally, we could probably judge more in the derby, because that's where the rule book is just thrown out the window completely. Gone. Doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter if Sunderland had gone on a 10-game winning streak or Newcastle had gone on a 19-game winning streak. If you go into a derby, that's it. Throw the rule book out. It's gone. End of. You know, anything can happen, whether you like it or not. Sunderland and Newcastle fans, and I'm a Sunderland fan. I am a Sunderland fan. You know, I want us to win. but you just don't know. Now, this leads me on to an interesting one, which I think you'll probably find a bit quirky. The reactions of the goalkeepers when it comes to making saves. Not movement. not movement, but the reaction times, you know. Pantilimon, he's quick. He's very quick to react, you know. He can get at full stretch, blink and you miss it. Rob Elliot, from what I saw against Norwich, is what I like to call a flapper. Literally a flapper. Because the way that Norwich scored their 2 goals, Elliot was literally flapping at the ball. You know, if there was an award for a good seagull impression, he'd win it, hands down. We all know you can't do that. You know, and Newcastle fans, be fair here, be honest, alright? You can't flap at the ball to try to save it. We all know you can't. If Pantilimon did that, he'd be dropped. Granted, you haven't got a choice, but you have to play him, really. Unless you want to risk an 18-year-old. Personally, I'd stick with Rob Elliot. But, yeah, so when it comes to reactions, don't get me wrong, he did make a couple of saves, you know, a couple of good catches as well during the Norwich game, so credit where credit's due. But for this one, again, Pantilimon edges this one. He gets a 6 out of 10. Elliot, because of his flappiness, gets a 4 out of 10. So that's the first one of these special videos done. There's going to be a few more coming out, guys, you know. Just players, you know, key players, or who I think are going to be key players in the derby. We've got to pluck them out, and we're going to compare them. Easy as that, really, guys. So that is it for the first one. And there's no usual ending this time, because I'm going to leave that big one for the preview. So I will see you all